Okay, let's go to this story about India and China. Tom, I want to go to this. So the whole tariff conversation that's taking place, right? Trump says China would have broken apart if we don't do the deal. Won't do deals with everyone. He's trying to say like he's saving the economy, which is what Tom said the other day. So let me read this. During an interview aired on Friday, broadcast on Fox News channel, special report, President Trump stated that he won't. Is this it, Rob?
Yes.
Go ahead and play this clip. Go for it. We can't hear it, Rob.
People.
Yeah.
I've got 150 countries that want to make deals. You know, you have a lot of countries.
The market was really happy with the China situation and the sit-down
They were.
With
And you
the
know
Treasury
what?
Secretary.
If
Is
I
this
didn't
the
do that
beginning?
deal, if I didn't do that deal with China, I think China would have broken apart.
Not us, them.
We weren't going to break. We're not going to break. They would have broken apart. You know, our country has a lot of spirit. And you know why? Because of November 5th.
Okay, so he's saying that, Tom. And then right afterwards, Rob, if you have the India clip, India clip.
Yes, right here.
About the iPhones. And apparently some happened with, go for it, with Tim Cook. Go ahead.
And we have Apple, as you know, it's coming in. And I had a little problem with Tim Cook yesterday. I said to him, Tim, you're my friend. I treated you very good. You're coming in with $500 billion, but now I hear you're building all over India. I don't want you building in India. You can build in India if you want to take care of India, because India is the highest, one of the highest tariff nations in the world. It's very hard to sell into India. And they've offered us a deal where basically they're willing to literally charge us no tariff. So we go from the highest tariff, you couldn't do business in India. We're not even a top 30 in India because the tariff is so high, to a point where they have actually told us, I assume you too, Scott, you were working on that also, that there will be no tariff, right? Would you say that's a difference? They're the highest, and now they're saying no tariff. But I said to Tim, Tim, look, we've treated you really good. We put up with all the plants that you built in China for years. Now you got to build us. We're not interested in you building in India. India can take care of themselves. They're doing very well. We want you to build here, and they're going to be upping their production in the United States. Apple. So Apple's already in for $500 billion, but they're going to be upping their production. So it'll be great.
Okay, Tom, that's powerful, by the way.
It's
Those
very,
two
very
clips,
powerful.
very powerful. So China, India, Apple, thoughts, Tom?
Well, there's a waterfall here, and there's two things going on in the water. The first thing over the waterfall is obviously the administration loves the fact that Apple, going back 2018, started moving things to India. So they love the fact that China is losing market share on manufacturing of Apple, and things are going to India because Foxconn, and there's a lot of things going on, and Apple was trying to manage its risk. They love that. Their little myth, there's a little subtext going below the surface here in that China and Pakistan, a little blow up they had on the border, India didn't completely cooperate with us. Pakistan didn't completely cooperate with us, and they got their little ceasefire. So there's a little poke to India going below the surface here. I don't want you building all the extra stuff there. I want you to build the stuff here. With India saying, wait a minute ago, you were happy that we were taking manufacturing from China. Well, I want you to have some of it, but you're also kind of annoying me a little bit. So there is, Pat, below the surface, there is a poke at India that happened in all this. Like, hang on, dude, you're listening to me, please. Thank you. And then he does want factories in the U.S. Look, they have automated assembly factories that have very little overhead and very few people. He says, put that in America. Put that in America. And guess what? Buy the electricity from the America. Hire the construction workers in America to build that facility. And then you're going to have people there because it's fairly automated, and they're going to be U.S. wages, but it's a highly automated factory. But buy the supplies here, build the thing here, do it here. Where's our part of this? So he's pointing out to Tim Cook saying, look, this is not a pure human manufacturing game anymore, Tim. I want you to build something here. Although I'm glad you're moving and you're taking stuff out of China and reducing the reliance on China. Meanwhile, India says, I thought it was good. I had a winning hand on here. Yeah, but you need to listen to me about this Pakistan thing, and you didn't listen as much as I wanted you to. So there was a couple things going on here, Pat, but the lead one was he was unafraid to look at Tim Cook and say, build some of that here. And it's not about the manufacturing jobs. It's all about all the jobs that are going to build the factory itself.
So here's my question. If he does agree to do it, I know we talked about the prices going up. What is Tim Cook's incentive to come and do it here? Is he going to charge us more for the phone, and that's how he's going to make his money? Is that what's going to happen?
I think the phones, well, it depends on which products you're talking about. Like, does he just, what do they build here?
That's what I'm saying.
Do they build the iPhones here? Do they build iPods here? I mean,
yeah, earpods.
Earpods. What do they build?
Yeah.
Right. Some of the stuff that's more labor intensive, it'll be much more expensive if it's built here. However, there's things they can build and there's things they can do that would not be, lethally expensive. You know what I'm saying? That it just kills the market for it. I'm not paying $3,000 for an iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a part of this that, I mean, obviously, here's what he's saying. A part of when you're watching him saying, hey, I don't want you to go build 60 million phones in India. What are you doing? A part's like, well, maybe he wants a little bit of it to go to China because now that he's doing the New Deal, he wants to make it China. That's not what he's saying. He's saying, no, I want you to bring it here. Because if you're transferring 60 million phones being made from China to India, guess what you're not doing? You're not creating the jobs here. You're just moving it from one place to another place that's still, the jobs are not created here. I want you to create the jobs here.
Put a little dent in China, but that's it.
But the part that I like is that he has that relationship with Tim Cook, and the way he does it in the field, there's ways when you're building an agency where it's like, look, I don't agree. We have a very good relationship, but I don't agree with the fact that he's doing this. What's that all about? Why are you building all that over there? He's publicly calling him out. Phil Jackson used to do this. Certain coaches used to do this with their players, and Tim Cook is one of his main players. It's the biggest company he's got in America. It's them. Who else is bigger than them? Microsoft and them compete for number one spot, right, Tom? It's Microsoft and Apple are competing for number one spot.
The $3 trillion club.
Yeah, the $3 trillion club. But I love that he's pushing and imposing to say, bring those jobs to the States. Adam.
Yeah, Apple's the number one company in the world, over $3 trillion market cap. And our primary focus right now should still be on China, everything that's happening with the tariffs, whether we're going to break China or not. But we created this mess that we're dealing with China. We have ourselves to blame, starting with Nixon and his accoutrement with Mao, aligning ourselves with the Chinese over the Russians during the Cold War, and then everything that happened with that, then the World Trade Organization under Clinton and under Bush. But, all our manufacturing jobs got shipped to China, and essentially we're a consumer-based economy, so we're buying a ton of stuff from China. But slowly but surely, we're realizing this, that Apple actually helped build China's economy more than anybody. So, there was a great interview on The Daily Show. Jon Stewart interviewed this guy, award-winning journalist Patrick McGee. And here's what they talked about. He wrote a book called Apple in China, The Capture of the World's Greatest Company. So they say this, that the award-winning journalist Patrick McGee joins Jon Stewart to discuss how Apple built China in his new book, Apple in China, The Capture of the World's Greatest Company. They talk about Apple sleepwalking into this crisis, building a competitive market in Xi Jinping's authoritarian state, the vocational training that boosted rivals, how Trump attempted Apple's boycott backfired, and whether investments may be facilitating the annexation of Taiwan. Long story short, Apple, in many respects, built China as what it is today. So now they're exiting stage left and trying to basically do their dirty work in India, and we all understand why we need to get out of China. But here's this article right here saying the U.S. will have India as their country of origin for iPhones, and in the third quarter, almost all iPads, Macs, Apple Watches, AirPods will be sold into the U.S., will originate from Vietnam. And I think what Trump is saying is, America first, bring the jobs back to America. But Apple, they made their money basically by giving China a ton of money. They were talking about it in the interview. I encourage you to go watch it. How much money poured into China? It was more than what the Marshall Plan did to Europe per capita after World War II. And a massive amount of money into China came from Apple.
We got a special merch drop today with these 4 states. If you want to play this clip, we have officially 4 hats, each representing Florida, California, Texas, and New York. What's wild about these 4 states is I lived in California for 24 years, longest I ever lived in a state. I lived in Texas for 5 years. I've been in Florida for 4 years, and we own the minority owners of New York Yankees. So there is something going on with each of these 4 states, and it happens to be the top 4 states that we have here. These hats will go like this, okay, because they're limited. We don't have a big supply of them. But the Florida one is going to sell out in minutes like it always does. Why? Because it is numbered 1 out of 250, and when you order those, they come in this box, the Valuetainment Future Looks Bright box with the hat inside of it. Florida's is going to have the red back lid, which is not lid. What do you call this thing here,
That's
Vinny?
their flag.
What do you call this, Vinny? Here, this is
snapback.
The snapback. And then you have Florida's flag here with Florida's map on the side. And then you got same thing with Texas, with New York, with California. So here's what we're going to be doing. 2 things. You got the shirt, sweaters, and the hats. Limited supply. Anybody that places the order, the first 100 are going to get a Future Looks Bright keychain, or you see the keychain right there. Whether you order 1 hat, 2 hats, or whatever you order, you're going to get those right there. However, I want to show you something crazy I sent to Chris this morning. Rob, go to eBay. Go to eBay. Go to eBay. Go to eBay if you can. And type in Future Looks Bright. This is absolutely wild. So if you go to eBay, Vinny, have you seen this lately? Future Looks Bright. Look what's there.
$400.
These numbered hats end up, but watch this, $800 for one of them. Keep going. Okay, keep going. $249.
Last one. That means you already sold one.
Listen to this. Let it go lower. Watch what happens here with the rest of them. Okay, keep going. It's becoming a marketplace on eBay on some of these guys. Some of them, the super fans buy, they wear it. I absolutely love it. You're going to see me on Jesse Waters tonight.
$10,000? Are you serious?
But I mean, that's how numbered stuff goes.
Oh,
He's got the 1 out of 250, though. So if you go lower, tonight when I'm on Jesse, by the way, even that backpack, we sold them. It's $2,028 for a numbered backpack. There was only 100 of them. We did limited. The red ones. We'll never do it again. The other one was the Future Looks Bright, the white and the gold, $3,000. Anyways, gang, if you believe the future looks bright, we want 1 million people wearing this gear, sporting it all over the place with the Valuetainment brand. Go to vtmerch.com, place the order. And those of you guys that are in the PBD Podcast Circle, you were told about this before anybody else, as well as the PBD Entrepreneur Circle. If you join the circle, you get these merch drops before anybody else. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.